Greetings, everyone. Only individuals with a trained eye will recognize some of the paranormal activities happening in this time. But what this video aims to do is to make a connection or a link between the physical and the spiritual world. A lot of persons do not understand it, and oftentimes, when you don't understand something, you reject it. You fear it because you don't understand it. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about some things that are far out to some people. But those of you who understand or recognize what I'm saying, blessings to you. Now, have you ever heard of persons taking or exhuming a body of someone very famous or very popular, moving them from a particular space where they're buried to bring them somewhere else? Have you ever wondered why? Why would you disturb a body? And sometimes after a long period of time. Now, before I get into the answer to that, I'm going to say to you that a lot of persons who are strong willed, powerful individuals who have passed on, people are interested in them, and sometimes they become more famous even after they've passed on. And so you'll hear people say, we want to bring them from this place to another resting place. And I'm going to tell you this and explain it this way, that the body, when we are alive, is like a house. And when that time comes for you to transcend, the house remain and the spirit goes. So if you bulldoze a house, the spirit still remains. That spot, that place, that piece of land, even if a natural disaster comes and the land is shifted, it still remains. Same thing is true. Once the spirit leaves the body, right, and the house remains, the spirit will come back. The spirit will still seek to connect back to the house. Now, you're going to agree to disagree in this one. If you do not believe that is true, I respect your wishes. Just hear me out. Now, people are often interested in a certain type of personality or character of individuals even after they're gone. And those people, for example, who became bigger than life after they transcend, Marcus Garvey, Paul Bogle, Bob Marley, you name these individuals. People are interested in the spirit of these ones. And people have the ability, those who are deeply steeped in the occult practices, understand how they can trap that spirit and use that spirit, because your nature while you're alive is even more powerful when you're no longer here. Now, this is very difficult to follow, but try to follow me, please. People will then seek out and use occult practices to trap the spirits of these ones. And so when they go and they disturb their resting place, their attempt is to trap the spirit. Now, if the person was a strong individual, a freedom fighter, imagine what these ones would seek to do with their spirit. The spirit of a Marcus Garvey, or the spirit of, whomever you consider to be powerful, taking these energies and trapping them and using them for their own good. Now, people say, what is going on with our Jamaican people? The certain spirit in our people are no longer there. That's because they have trapped the spirits of the most powerful ones that came from this place and are now using it for their own purpose. They're using it for their own purpose. So when you look in Jamaica and you're seeing some of the things that are going on, and you can clearly see with a trained eye some paranormal activities. You are seeing people in with the physical eyes, and yes, you're seeing symbols on them like horns, tiny horns sticking out of someone's head if you have trained eye to see it. The stuff is scary, and it's going to get scarier, because if you ever see what is referred to, when they show an image that is not really there, please put it in the comment section. An image, it appears to be the person, but it's just a reflection of the person. Like someone has a screen and they're projecting the image. Tell me what that's called in the comment section, please. So we're seeing people that look real, but they're being used in this very scary way. As so a lot of the images, for example, that you see in Jamaica, we're talking about statues. Inside the statue, the spirit of certain entities are trapped within them, and it casts a kind of dark energy over the country, over people. Sometimes good people start behaving a particular way, and you're like, what is going on with this individual? Because they're under a spell. These things are real, people. And in a 10-minute video, I can't explain it all. But a lot of what we are going to see going forward are people who are controlled by satellite, spiritually. People understand these things. People practice these things. You don't have all these different type of, things like, occult practices and all the different kinds of spiritual leanings for no reason. And then you got individuals that over hundreds of years have exhibited a certain tendency, and it continues from one generation to the next, because these lessons are passed on, these practices are continuing. So when you look at our people and you're like, what is wrong with you all? Understand that a lot are under a spell. And those who understand the occult practices and deeply steeped in these things are using it as a control mechanism. And to be honest with you, it's very scary if you're not grounded. And that is the word, the operative word, is being grounded in your own understanding. For there is no escape for you if you don't understand or recognize the signs. The old folks used to say, the signs of the time. There's a song, the signs of the time are ever here, But we were told about these signs to expect them. And right now, a lot of persons are very shocked, very surprised about the thing that even within their religion was prophesied. And the things that are prophesied must be fulfilled. So if the people are showing weakness when they used to be strong, it's because the energy and the strength of the ones before them are harnessed and trapped, and then used to do the opposite of what they would have done when they were alive. You think this is a joke? I guarantee you'll hear more about it. More signs will pop up in Jamaica. More things like, amulets and equipments or tools that they're using in the occult practice. They will pop up and they will explain it away and tell you, oh no, this is not what you think it is. It's something else. There will be a revelation of that. There will be more signs and more revelation. And the people have to remember that you're going to be deceived. Therefore, don't let them brush it away or explain something, that is extraordinary away The people are dumbed down. The people are blinded. The people are deaf. The people literally have lost their way because they're under control. And these ones are seeking even more, which is so scary. It's very scary because the more power some people get, it's the more they want. And now, instead of war strategies, spiritual attacks are now being used against the people. And the people, for lack of knowledge, are suffering. We'll talk about this another day. Stay blessed.